Hey, got a few things from Record Store Day and a few things in the mail. First up, Carl Stalling Project. Beyond thrilled to get this on vinyl. This came out originally in the early 90s. I'm going to say 91, 92, and then there was a second volume. And it's music from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s of Warner Brothers cartoons, Bugs Bunny music. And, you know, anybody who likes Stravinsky, anybody who likes Frank Zappa, you should give this a shot. And if you could divorce yourself mentally from the cartoons you grew up watching and just, you know, listen to the music, it's fantastic stuff. Or let the music pull your heartstrings, and it's an emotional ride. But I'm sure you can stream it. Highly recommended. Also on Record Store Day, there always seems to be a jazz dispensary release, and they put out music from old jazz records, primarily from Riverside and Prestige records, classic old stuff, greasy, organ-drenched soul jazz. And I get that it's probably not very popular with the jazz, serious jazz listeners, because it is, I mean, the fact that it's called Jazz Dispensary sounds like they're trying to market it to a teenage audience. And the covers, even though I like them a lot, you know, you're serious jazz guys just not going to dig this. And the vinyl's all colored and groovy. But I'd highly recommend them. I mean, there's like one or two that come out a year on Record Store Day, usually the compilations, and they also have reissued some records on their own. Rusty Bryant comes to mind, usually soul jazz stuff, but each collection is just fantastic. And if you like soul jazz and organ jazz and stuff like that, I'd get a Jazz Dispensary comp. Blasters, this live album came out decades ago. It's from the, well, they're a roots rock band from the 80s, and like a lot of brother bands, if you get Phil and Dave Albin on the same album, it's a bonus. You know, later on they kind of fought and split up. This is from '82, and so like I said, this came out initially as a single album, this double album, the whole concert. Had to get that. That's it for Record Store Day. Got this in the mail. Gunter Schickert. He's a guitar player. It's early 70s. He started out in the Berlin free jazz scene and kind of morphed his way into Krautrock Association. He was a roadie and played with a little bit Klaus Schultz, the keyboard player. And so this is supposedly, I haven't listened to it, layer upon layer upon layer of echoey, shimmering guitar, which kind of makes an ambient soundscape. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Stranded Records, I have to say, I'm on their email mailing list, and Stranded Records, there's one in San Francisco, one in New York City, and twice, 3 times a month, sometimes more, I'll get an email of different suggestions, and music like this that I didn't even know this guy, and just interesting stuff that I've ordered quite a few records from them online, just because I read the reviews. I'm like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. I went to Almost Ready Records in Montclair and picked up some new surf stuff for the surf collection. Surfer's Mood Volume 2. Surfer's Mood Volume 3. Surfer's Mood Volume 4. And this is a kind of the Latin version, so various artists with surf tunes that are all kind of Latin-y. And probably my favorite. And so now I have to get Surfer's Mood Volume 1, because that's the way it tweaks your collector's OCD. For my money, some of the best, I love dub music, and some of the best late night dub. When I say late night, before going to bed, you don't want something that's going to rile you up like a Lee Perry record. Pole came out with 3 records in the early 90s, the red record, the yellow record, which I just recently got, and the first one was a blue record. And his name is Stefan Betke. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And he was a sound engineer. And he was working with a sound processing device called the 4-pole filter that was malfunctioning, causing glitches and static. And I assume it was an analog filter, because it sounds very analog-y as opposed to like the digital glitch stuff that Thrill Jockey was putting out. And the random clicks and crackles, he kind of fed this bass-heavy dub music through, and it's just fantastic stuff. And go online, check it out if you're looking for late night dub. Young Gods, this was like their 4th record, Swiss electro, hard rock / techno. I like them a lot. Pick this up. And talking about the glitch and the techno versus the analog, the digital versus the analog glitch. I got a Oval. I think this is their 3rd or 4th record on Thrill Jockey. This African electronic music, I really thought was going to be a compilation or a collection of different African artists who were doing more music concrete and abstract electronic music. And it looks like this Francis Bebe, whoever that is, it's more singing and stuff and songs with him playing synthesizer. I just barely put it on. So if I change my tune, I will print a retraction later. So far, not the best. I was really hoping for like some ethnic music in the background with big whooshes of music concrete and electronic abstract sound, but it's not that. And that, oh, that looks like it's it. That's